Hi, Debbie Abels again here in Bloomfield, and we are over at the Memorial Park in Bloomfield. And I want to tell you a little story. I've been delivering the Simply Put newspapers out here for almost 6 years come April. And I was invited by Rhonda to bring Kaya, the wonder dog, who writes in our newspaper, and be part of the Bark Fest last summer that they had. I had no idea this park was here, and it is drop dead gorgeous, and I had a wonderful time. So when we decided to do the stories about Bloomfield and what all you needed to know, I felt definitely they needed to know this opportunity is here to use for family reunions and events. And I'm going to let Rhonda, our mayor of Bloomfield, tell us a little bit about what all goes on here and give us a little bit of history, and then we'll just work down the crowd. Everybody knows a little bit about it, and then you need to know about it as well.
Well, first of all, I want to let you know that it is the Bloomfield Memorial Park, and it was originally named the Memorial Park in memory of some of the young youth that had passed away here.
Okay.
And it also has the Veterans Memorial out front, and each year on Veterans Day we hold a ceremony out here for the Veterans Day.
Perfect.
And but we're very proud of this park. It's a great opportunity for people to come out. We do have a lake that's open to the public. We have a walking trail up here, and then they hold Little League games up here, and the Bloomfield Middle School also uses our park. So it's just a wonderful facility. You can also rent the pavilion for different types of activities for birthdays or for reunions and that sort of thing.
Well, Rhonda, one of the things that I noticed was that, you come out to the public parks and you never know what kind of condition the restroom facilities and the areas where you want to put food and areas that cover you for the shade or from the weather are maintained. And I was so impressed. I mean, it's like it really is taken care of and monitored to where you all have pride in what you have, and it showed to me. So it is definitely something to consider bringing for a picnic, bringing the family out, enjoying the day, doing whatever, or bringing a group, civic organization or whatever. Sure. So
well, I'd like to give Scott Thompson credit for that. He's our maintenance tech, and when I came into office and he became one of our employees, he took a lot of pride into the park too, and he created a maintenance plan, and he actually checks the park every day for litter. He checks the facilities to see how clean they are, because we're proud of our park. We want people to feel good about coming here, and we want to create a very positive image when they come here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it gave me a very positive image to the point that I'm still talking about it, and that was last summer.
Great.
Tell us a little bit about this walk, and you were talking about the walking grounds and how it's all funded out here and all. Jean's going to give us a little bit more information. Jean will give us a little bit more information about that.
Yes, so we got a land and water conservation grant for around $12,000. We had to match it, and we built this track around the 6 miles. It's called a walking trail, and it's a third of a mile. And if you go around 3 times, you've walked a mile.
Very good.
And then the city park is actually works with the fiscal court. The fiscal court has an interlocal agreement with the city on supporting our park program, and they donate about $10,000 or appropriate $10,000 toward our park program, where we upgrade the facilities. We don't use it for general operation, but we try to build fixed assets on the park. And some of that is the batting cage, the fencing, the dugouts. Some of the picnic tables were bought with some of that money.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I had asked when I was here was it just seemed like the perfect place to bring kids or family members and let them fish while you were picnicking and enjoying it. And Jean was telling us a little bit more about some of the fishing activities. It's free to come and enjoy as long as it's open, and we'll talk about the hours of the facility soon. But tell me a little bit about this fishing thing you were talking about.
We have a fishing in neighborhoods program that the Kentucky State Fish and Wildlife Agency signs with cities across the state. I think there are 30 in the state, and it's called Fishing in Neighborhoods. You have to have a fishing license if you're over 16.
Right.
And if you keep your trout, you have to have a trout stamp. But they stock catfish and trout in the spring, and I'm not sure what they stock in the fall.
Okay. But that's going to be coming up soon. They'll come in the spring
yes,
and restock.
They will restock, and the trout will actually die because they have to be in cool water.
Okay, all right.
Through the summer.
Well, that's an opportunity for a lot of the fishermen who are looking to try to teach some of the young people how to do it. Come on out in the spring and enjoy it. We also have Tammy Wimpsit with us, who is a second-term city council.
Yes.
And she is in charge of a lot of the events and is going to tell us a great deal about some of the things that they have to offer. The first one for this season will be the picnic in the park, but there is the Bark Fest in the summer. Late fall. Yeah, I was remembering it was a warm day that day, but we did have thunderstorms, that's right, come through. And then also they do a Christmas home tour, of which we will highlight on our second section of Bloomfield when the fall comes. But tell us a little bit about this community.
Bloomfield Community of Tomorrow, and that is a totally separate thing from the City Council. I am a City Council member, but I'm also a member of the Bloomfield Community of Tomorrow, and that is an organization of about 8 to 12 volunteers, and we put on the picnic in the park, which is right around the July 4th weekend.
Perfect.
And we have it's an old-fashioned picnic. We have three-legged races. We have basketball. We have anything the kids want to do. Watermelon eating contest.
Okay.
So it's a fabulous, fabulous family-oriented day of fun. We have a silent auction, which the businesses donate, items and money, and we have an auction. And at night, at dusk, we have the most wonderful firework exhibition that I've ever attended.
Great.
So
That's
it's
great.
really, really fabulous. And we have a lot of, everything is free as far as games, this and that.
Right.
We have so many nonprofit organizations that come in and have their food booths. And
I was going to ask you about that. 'Cause you can't have a
all
picnic without
all
food.
day ice cream, tacos, hamburgers, pork chops, anything you
And they
could want to
purchase
eat.
these, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then their profits are for some type of organization of their choice.
Right.
But the Bloomfield Community of Tomorrow, their actual profits go to things in the neighborhood. They actually striped the parking lot in the park. The iron Bloomfield benches that you see around town in front of the
yes.
businesses, they've purchased those. So there's many, many funds that everything goes back into the Bloomfield community.
And it's always wrapped around July the 4th on a Saturday. It'll either be before or after. We'll certainly highlight that in the paper when the time comes in your calendar to let everybody know exactly what date, but it should be fun. You hope to maybe have some musical entertainment, I know, and
Always.
a little bit of everything, and just a great day out to see neighbors and bring new friends and see what the park is all about. Well, we highly recommend. I can tell you that I had a blast when I was out here for the Bark Fest, which benefits
The Nelson County Humane Society, Barktown Rescue, and the Southern Star Men Pen Rescue.
and then the holiday tour of homes. What does that benefit?
That is the Community of Tomorrow, which always
Okay.
goes right back into the community.
All right.
And the Bloomfield Community of Tomorrow was actually set up as a visionary committee to have plans, goals, and statements for the enrichment of Bloomfield as a community, not just within the Bloomfield boundaries, but a
Perfect.
group of people anyone can join that has a passion to promote Bloomfield.
And really, one of the things I've noticed with being here and us talking with you all, it's every age group. It's not just an older age group. It seems to me like you all are building leadership for your future, so you would certainly encourage younger people to get involved.
Oh, yes. We always need more volunteers, and we bring in as many of the kids, the teenagers into any of the events that we have in Bloomfield. We always encourage that, and we have many.
Well, I know during the Bark Fest, one of the things I noticed was that you had young kids that were dressed in T-shirts that said volunteer and all, and they were walking the dogs and bringing water and involved, and I was highly impressed because a lot of times we just take for granted and a group runs the show, and it stays that way until they start dying off or tiring or getting burned out, and there's nobody else to pick up the lead when that happens. And that happens with a lot of events in a lot of communities. And I've got to give it to you that Bloomfield was one of the first things I noticed when I came up here. And I thought, well, for gosh sakes, they're building their future leadership. So you are really a community ahead of its game already.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, Rhonda, that we probably should talk about?
I'm not sure. Talking about our walking
Let's-
trail, we got a fabulous walking trail.
Let's talk about the hours.
Well, the park does open early in the morning, and then it closes at dusk.
Okay.
You're welcome to bring your dogs out for a walk around the walking trail. We just ask, of course, that you clean up after your dogs.
Right.
But it's open to the public, and we invite you to come and enjoy our park here in Bloomfield.
And I'd like to say that this is not the only park we have. We have 4 acres up on the old 162 in behind the old Eli Brown School.
Okay.
And it's a soccer field. The soccer organization uses it for their soccer games.
Okay.
So that's part of this park system.
Park system.
This isn't primarily baseball down here.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, if you're planning a family reunion or anything like that, and you want to have a little bit of a casual, country, quiet atmosphere, I would highly recommend it because the facilities were wonderful. So, how would they get in touch with? Who do they get in touch with to see about renting it or having an event here?
Well, we do have a lady that is in charge of the rental of the pavilion there, and her name is June Burns, and I do have her number. It is 252-8487. It costs, there's a $25 deposit that's required, and of course you'll get that back as long as everything has been cleaned up and there's no damage, and then it's $50 to rent the facility for 4 hours. If you choose to do that.
That's a steal. That's a good steal. We'll certainly print that information too as well in the paper so that you can access it in other ways and be able to maybe plan some events with them. Bloomfield rocks.